What's going on, guys? Welcome back to CarX Street, where we have just received official update 1.1.0. Now, it seems to me, based on the patch notes today, that this is pretty much just the previous PTR brought into an official update, but we are going to go through each point piece by piece, and then we're going to hop in game and see how it feels. So starting us off here, guys, it says, "What's up, drivers? 1.1.0 update of CarX Street PC is available." And then it says, "We've worked on, first up is game physics." So the first in the game physics list is going to be new realistic tire physics model. Then we have improved tire grip on the road, as well as expanded tuning range for brake balance. We have raised the center of gravity for vehicles, increased engine torque at low RPMs, enhanced throttle simulation accuracy for gamepads and steering wheels, optimized gear ratio settings for stock transmissions, smoothed out angular roads, improved force feedback for steering wheels, added slipstream effect, and added steering assist settings. Now, obviously, all of these were in the previous PTR update. Up next, we have car balance in the game. It says adjusted weight balance when changing car bodies. Now body replacement is more effective for C3 class vehicles. We have reduced tuning range for air resistance and transmission losses, increased transmission losses for all-wheel drive cars, fixed a bug that gave an advantage when using large wheels, and increased weight of the LSS engine. Once again, all of this was in the previous PTR. After that, we have other improvements. We have improved game performance on HDD and slow SSDs. Now, this was in the previous PTR update and one that I was super excited about. Definitely super stoked to see this game running better on lower power PCs. Then we have enhanced camera positioning for both first person and third person views. I'm not sure if this was on the previous PTR. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys do know. And then we have improved route display on the minimap, improved voice roles, and to celebrate first major updates, fireworks are being launched in Sunset City. This one's definitely new. Then after that, guys, we have additional information. It says multiplayer mode as well as time attack, time hunters, and mystery races will only be available in version 1.1.0 and above. So obviously previous versions, PTR, stuff like that, these things won't work. And then we have improved visibility of turn direction. I think this one and the route display on the minimap might have also not been in the previous PTR, but just little things, quality of life updates that they've added into the game. So let's head into the game here and see if this feels the same as the previous PTR. Alright, guys, here we are, some online tandems in the official update with the Supra, just the car I know best. Makes it a little bit easier to kind of compare and contrast the physics, and to me this feels pretty close to the PTR, if not exactly the same. If anything, I do feel like there might be a little bit more grip on the official update. I do have my stability controls all the way down for the Supra here, and I did test this out a little bit before on the 240 that I was building in the how to tune video, and I feel like I actually preferred that car with the stabilization settings all the way up. Now that car is a little bit lighter and a little bit more darty, so it makes sense that I like having the stabilization on there just a little bit more than the Supra, which is a little bit more wide and a little bit more planted. But I will say, if there is any differences in the physics, they are very small, almost unnoticeable, if any. I do think the bumps, that's one thing that I didn't really notice or complain about as I hit two, that I didn't really notice or complain about in the original PTR video, is I feel like the bumps are just super harsh now. It's like really easy to bottom your car out. Ooh, as you see another one there. But that is one thing that I feel like probably didn't need to, ooh, see, like right there, my wheel got caught up and I spun around. I feel like that wasn't that way on the previous official update. So I definitely don't know if they needed to change that, the way that the cars kind of take the bumps. And honestly, as much as I love to see the game supported and updated, and as much as I think that that's really what's gonna, you know, determine the long-term success of this game, I don't know if this is exactly the update that the game needed, because we see the fireworks out in the distance. That's beautiful. You gotta give them credit there. That's really cool. But I really don't know if this is the update that players were necessarily looking for, right? Like, I think we are starting to see a little bit of a lack of interest in this game. And of course, you know, the game's been out for a little over a month now, or probably a month and a half, something like that. And, you know, that's to be expected as a game's been out a little bit longer. You know, you're not gonna have the same player base that you have on week one. But I do think some of the things that would keep players interested are pretty clearly asked for by the community, right? Like the livery editor, online traffic, and maybe some, you know, new cars, or even the Speedway there, right? Like the track too. So I think it's pretty clear what would keep players interested, and I don't know if changing the physics was necessarily what the game needed for, you know, long-term interest. And I do think that that was a problem on the original CarX Drift Racing too, right? Like, I think a lot of players were kind of getting tired of the constant physics updates, because the physics were fine and the devs kept updating. These guys are so fast, dude. I'm using my nitros everywhere just to keep up with them. But, you know, that was a problem with CarX Drift Racing, right? Was they would just update the physics all the time. And I think, you know, as much as it's great that people are, you know, getting physics updates and that the devs are on top of the physics and the way that the cars handle, you know, long term, you really want new content, right? You want new cars to drive, you want new places to drive, things like that. I'm really hopeful that, you know, Sunset Speedway and maybe a couple new cars and stuff. And honestly, the console update too, right? The console update's another huge one that's going to drive a lot of interest back to this game. Obviously, there's a whole half of the player base, right? They just can't play the game right now because it's not out on console. And I would love to see that happen as well very soon here. Obviously, a lot of our Oh no, I'm sorry. A lot of friends are on Xbox from the GTA crowd and whatnot, and so it would be great to have that whole crowd be able to play with us here. And so definitely hoping that the devs kind of switch focus over to the console update, as well as the livery editor for sure, and then maybe some new cars and new areas to drive as well. But nonetheless, it is great to see the devs supporting the game. Like I always say in every video, you know, that's what's going to make this game successful long term. I just hope that they kind of put their attention in the right place, and that we don't have a similar problem to what we had with CarX, which was, you know, our tunes kind of becoming obsolete just so that they could say there was an update every few weeks when, you know, that game needed more content for sure. We got the custom maps update eventually, but we're still waiting on that to come to console, I believe. Definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but it does so far, guys. It does feel pretty much the same as the PTR to me. I actually swapped over to the PTR as I was recording a previous take for this video just to make sure that that bump thing was the same way on the PTR, and it definitely feels the same. So I do feel like they are the same physics. Obviously, we got that upgraded brake balance, which is huge. I'd love to see upgraded brake bias as well, a little bit more tunability with that. And if you guys are looking for a more in-depth breakdown of all the updates that came in with the PTR and officially in this update, I did record a whole video on that. I'll leave a link in the description down below if you guys want to check that out. And other than that, guys, I think that's it for today's video. If you guys made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys a ton. If you did enjoy the video or found it useful at all, please feel free to leave a like down below, subscribe for more just like it, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.